I have to drop something.
Greg Doucette, you have Derek. All of us have made really good businesses for ourselves and really good lives for ourselves. So I'm not going to really deter people from but I just really hope that people do a lot of research on it, look it up, and really just gain some knowledge about it, because guys like Arnold and a lot of people were kind of hush-hush about it. It's not like Arnold denied it. The main thing is, like, I just don't think people want to be lied to, but I do think the transparency of, like, hey, this is what we do, this is how we do it, it does cause other people to want to do it.
We've reviewed your channel carefully and have confirmed that it violates our harmful and dangerous policy. We won't be putting your channel back up on YouTube. Thanks, the YouTube team.
Ask me, I think the government did it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, some pretty dramatic stuff happening in the YouTube fitness world. Mark Bell's Powercast, one of the most sought after podcasts in the fitness industry on the planet, has been removed from YouTube with no warning. Yes, that is absolutely what happened, at least to our knowledge. And I spoke to Mark, to his knowledge, no warning, no reasons, just gone. And so obviously this is a big deal. I've been on his show twice. Mark is someone who I would consider a good friend, not just a good friend in the industry. We talk all the time. Nsima as well, and Andrew, their producer. Look, I'll be honest with you. I'm in a position, it's very emotional for me. And maybe, you know, that's not a good place to look at things objectively, but I got to be honest, the tinfoil hat is looking mighty fine right now.
The conspiracy is real.
And I try to be very balanced and nuanced and in the middle, but something like this, if it ends up shaking out like this, where they never get their channel back and for no reason, like, there are some conspiracy theories that I'm absolutely willing to entertain. And I know even then, it's like, for some of you, it's like obvious that, you know, there's some reason that they're not explaining to us. But for me, again, I come from a position of trying to be a little bit more objective, not entirely science-based throughout, you know, all of the things that I claim. But I don't want to be too passionate about something. But the fact that this is a close friend and this is my livelihood, YouTube, it does draw out a lot of emotion. Anyways, here's the post. Mark Bell's Power Project. We've reached a decision on your appeal. Hi, Mark Bell's Power Project. We've reviewed your appeal for the following. Channel, Mark Bell's Power Project. We've reviewed your channel carefully and have confirmed that it violates our harmful and dangerous policy. We know this is probably disappointing news, but it's our job to make sure that YouTube is a safe place for all. How this affects your channel. We won't be putting your channel back up on YouTube. Thanks, the YouTube team. Hold on. I shouldn't be laughing. That's honestly crazy. Okay? Mark's caption here. No warning, no explanation specifically. Like, so they got that explanation, okay? But there's no specific explanation. Just deleted, banned, and canceled. And then he has a little quip here. Maybe it was my race to 0 followers. And look, I talked to Mark today for about a half hour about this. I mean, this dude's attitude is just incredible. He's like, I'm getting 20,000 steps a day, so right now I'm on my walk, and I got bigger fish to fry, Zack. I gotta, you know, and then he's just making jokes the rest of the time. That's Mark. Like, I think a lot of people like kind of turn their back on Mark because he like to set the stage here. He really is the OG of strength YouTube. Like, he comes out of this West Side thing where West Side Powerlifting, West Side Barbell with Louis Simmons and all these other characters. And what he started to do was make videos, just bring a video camera around and then upload to YouTube. And what he realized was it wasn't just the training that people wanted to watch. It was the characters. They wanted to see these other characters, you know, develop. And himself, people started to care about Mark. The thing is, and this is how it is for myself as well, you know, powerlifting is bench or squat, bench, and deadlift. That's it. And for me, weightlifting, Olympic weightlifting, is the snatch and the clean and jerk. And it's tough to keep a channel going for, for Mark. In Mark's case, like, I think he started in like 2012, 2013. It's hard to keep that going for over a decade based off of 3 movements. So he expanded. He started this other channel called The Power Project, which is where his podcast took off. He has had many clips go past the 1 million clip mark. Has had really distinguished guests. Me being on the lower end of that, if I was honest. And so I think the point I'm getting at is like, Mark changed, but the reality is like he cares deeply about health and fitness. Like there is absolutely no bullshit there. Like he's genuinely concerned with health and fitness. And a lot of this stems from, the mental health of his mother and father, and then his brother who passed away, and even his other brother. He was the OG guy to talk about steroids. I think we're at a point where we talk about steroids and hormone usage and peptides, and we think that this has been going on a long time, but it really hasn't. And Mark was the first guy to really openly talk about it.
The reason I decided to use steroids was simple. I just needed to get bigger. That was pretty much it.
I'm going to pull up some comments here. Big names commented on this. And I think the most important one here is from Andrew, his producer. It's only my life's work. It's cool. 1,000 plus episodes with info that has literally saved lives and literally putting blood, sweat, and tears into this channel. YouTube and YouTube creators, I love creating content and publishing out podcasts on YouTube. Can we please have a conversation to figure out how we can get our channel back?
Oh my gosh, this is what it's like being on this side?
I think so.
This is terrifying.
The other side of the camera, it's so hot over here. All these lights.
Yeah. Well, normally I'm sitting in the back all hidden like a cave.
Like, that's a tough one, man, because Andrew is such a pure man and such a good guy. And this is just, it's awful. Bradley Martin just comments, for what though? Again, no idea. Michaela Peterson, OMG. Chujitsu, I'm a big fan of this dude's channel. What the F? Damn, man, you had some amazing videos on there. What did you violate? Tom Segura, what WTF? Dave Lipson, James Smith, Alon Galani, who they set me up with, Joe Sullivan, Tank Sinatra is a big, meme page. The list goes on and on, man. People are very shaken up by this. Why this is an emotional time for myself is because if you look at YouTube like, oh, it's a great funnel to get people into your business that you want to sell, that's a very smart play. In fact, it's an important one. It's very hard to get into the YouTube space and grow on YouTube because it takes a lot of effort. People don't have the YouTube app, and they don't generally they don't when it's compared to like Instagram, Facebook, right? Like people don't just pop up YouTube on their phones to the same level that they do Instagram. You and I probably we do, right? But that means that there aren't many YouTubers when we compare to people who post regularly to Instagram. That makes sense. So the way that people interact is like you have creators who dedicate a lot of their time to this thing. I'm one of those people. The way that I looked at YouTube and continue to look at YouTube is a creative mindset first. This sentimental value that I hold over a lot of these videos is priceless. We need to get out of the mindset that like, oh, the money's not going to come in for them for this reason, or sponsors aren't going to be able to sponsor them. The money's not going to be there, all that, blah, 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 blah. When I think about, go check out my technique video section. I think there's around 50 videos on there, all covering the snatch, clean and jerk, variations of the squat, all around Olympic weightlifting that I've developed over the past 8 years. Now, let's say I want to talk about a way of getting healthy that is not a way that the FDA or other government organizations say that you should get healthy. And then one morning I wake up and everything is gone. All of those technique videos are gone. The amount of devastation that I would feel from that is something that I can't quite explain right now. It's so heavy to me. I have never put as much effort into anything in my entire life than I have YouTube. And yet now I'm in a place where, okay, well, sometimes I want to turn on the camera and talk about different ideas. And if I talk about the wrong idea, which I'm not really sure of, right? I could lose all of that. That's crazy to me. That is absolutely crazy. That's exactly what happened to Mark Bell's Power Project. I made a video on Instagram talking about basically what I just told you guys. And I asked people, what do you think happened? Because like this is the time. How do we theorize? Let's put on the tinfoil hat. And there's some interesting comments here.
The UN was founded not to end war, but to gradually dissolve national governments and replace them with a globalist meritocracy.
Somebody here said probably mentioned. Again, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, you know. This one is super interesting. This one comes from Yukuri _lifter, not _, okay. Given every large platform nowadays is automating moderation with half-assed coded, questionably implemented AI, it could be the case of getting taken down from it, flagging a false positive, or new policy updates silently introduced that no longer considered something okay to be okay. It could also be political. So this is something that I've heard before, is that these new AIs are coming in and flagging things.
Human beings may not be perfect, but a computer program with language synthesis is hardly the answer to the world's problems.
I think the way that YouTube is, like, if you get flagged and it really wasn't that bad, they just don't even run the risk. They don't need Mark Bell's Power Project. Are you kidding me? They don't give a shit. There's genuinely, I don't know if there's enough noise that the fitness industry could make that would make YouTube give a shit. There is absolutely no power within the fitness industry to affect YouTube whatsoever. And that is so frightening. I haven't followed Mark Bell in a long time, so no clue what could have happened. I bet it will be reinstated unless it was something extremely egregious. That being said, all videos published to content platforms should be back up once, probably twice, so these videos, these moments aren't lost just in limbo. You know, that's one of the things, is like, I hope they're not lost. I hope they didn't just wipe it. They just wiped the visibility of the channel. Parker W. Lopez says, important to remember that YouTube has ultimately a total say in what goes on the platform, regardless of what anyone else thinks. It's also a great reason to be on multiple platforms, so you aren't overly dependent on one. And this is an interesting one, and I'm going to come at this from a different perspective, because I have a feeling that a lot of you guys, and I could be wrong on this, would agree with that, right? It's like every business has the right to do whatever the fuck they want, kind of. I'm not even, entirely sure about that. But what I would say is now we're at a place where some changes need to be instated here. It's similar to like the monopolies or the trusts of the past, the trust busting and the Rockefellers and all these massive families basically violating human rights to a ridiculous level because capitalism allowed it. It was totally legal. And under this kind of guise of capitalism, we now have these superpowers in YouTube, Meta, and all these other things that have so much of the just social equity. Like, when you take this away from people, there's not many other options for them, right? Like, go to Rumble is what everyone says. Go to Rumble, go to Rumble. Will you go to Rumble? Are you going to go to Rumble? Maybe if I go to Rumble and I say, hey guys, YouTube's over, maybe you'll come over. Maybe. But there's a good chance that you won't, like a very high chance that you won't, because I won't be able to get the subscribe. It's hard to get people across platforms. Okay. So I understand. Like, you have to be visible and valuable on other places. You can't depend on a private industry that can erase you. But it's never been this scary. And I'm not so sure that the answer is like, oh, well, go somewhere else. I just feel like we're past that. I feel like it's too big now.
Oh, great. I really hit bottom this time. That was my last chance to make any cash. I hope you're happy.
Maybe you should try getting a job.
This person, 513fit, says, health and fitness creators who go against the agenda of making everyone weak, sick, fat, and easily managed are probably targets. Again, that's a tinfoil hat wearing theory, but it could be true. What do you guys think? If I had to guess, it was, and this is actually what Mark told me personally on the phone, is he said that, you're probably not allowed to promote the use of substances in any way. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's not. But what's the exact line of that? Because I'm sponsored by Merrick Health. I don't directly promote the use of hormones. They have the use of hormones, but would I promote getting your blood work done and working with a doctor, and it doesn't mean altering your hormones whatsoever. I mean, you literally, myself, they just send me like supplements like magnesium, all of these other supplements that I can take that are custom to my blood work. Like, that's a valuable thing.
My vision is augmented.
Of course, they have hormones that they give out under the guidelines of a doctor, but does that promote it if I promote Merrick Health? Like, what is the line here? Anthony D'Annunzio, he says, I didn't catch his last few episodes, but I suspect political VAXEEN or meat related, unacceptable from YouTube. Yeah, I mean, like are they going to ban me from this, for talking about this? Have you guys noticed that people, when you spell certain words, like I even have started to spell like different, because I don't want to get flagged for saying the word or spelling the word. Basically, they're going to detect any word that might be something that they consider, disinformation around like the political discourse. And then once you're flagged, they can go, yeah, you know what? We don't need them. It sucks. That's really what I think happened here. The Power Project was flagged by something somehow, and then they reviewed it with the appeal. Maybe they didn't even do that, but they reviewed it. They're like, maybe he's good, maybe he's not. Either way, let's not take the risk. Bye-bye. Gone. Like, the fucking verbiage of this is crazy. How does this affect your channel? We won't be putting your channel back up. Scary shit, man. When I used to make videos, I didn't have Alex. I used to sit in my apartment and I would, this was after work, so I'd personal train all day long. I'd sit in my apartment and I would write a script, and then I would do a voiceover with that script, and then I would shoot video that was B-roll towards that script, and then I would edit. And I would say all of the work that I put in was right around 40 hours total. So 1 week of work, geared towards that video. And that video meant a lot to me. And I would post one of those videos once a week, and I would stay up late. I would just stay up till like 2, 3, 4 in the morning working on it because I loved it. And when that video came out, I was very proud of the effort that I put in. I'm a creator. It's like I'm much more creative than business minded. I know creators who have been like, man, if I could just make this money without the funnel of YouTube, I wouldn't even be making videos. I hate making videos. Like, to me, that's just crazy, but I understand it, right? Like, don't you want to make money? Doesn't everyone want to make money? I have sponsors. I have a Patreon. I've funneled people to get coaching, but it's never, ever taken precedent over the creativity. This video right now is not very creative. I understand that. But, no less than a month ago, I spent time writing a video essay, compiling footage, first off, researching for that video essay, then compiling footage, sending it to Alex, getting drafts back and forth, and then eventually uploading after hours and hours and days of work. Now, to casually sit here and say, hey, you know, maybe you should look into the FDA regulated food, and maybe hyperpalatable processed foods are very dangerous, even though they're, you know, calorically, you know, you're eating less calories or something, some sort of alternative way of looking at things, especially, you know, during the pandemic. If I was to kind of casually just question that or mention that, not be very crazy about it, like, will my channel, all of the shit that I was talking about before, all that stuff that I worked really hard on, will it be yanked? Because if so, that is frightening. Again, it's so scary to me. I hope I'm not being too irrational here, but I am emotionally charged. I will absolutely be truthful about that. So what I want from you guys is, please let me know what you think happened in the comment section. But also, if there is a way around this, if Rumble is the move, if, you know, it really deters me from like wanting to just sit back and chat and like podcasting. Like, podcasting could be the worst thing for your YouTube channel, because you're very casual about your speech and you're talking, you're just questioning. Like, is that the best thing to do? I don't know. Well, that right there, just by saying, I don't know if that's the best thing, is not always ideal in the eyes of the government, or whatever powers that be. That you know, put the tinfoil hat on, and you know, you got to please the lords, the algorithm gods, this YouTube thing. Yeah, so just comment that below, guys. I appreciate you coming by, and I'll see you in the next video.
What a shame.